Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we will be taking a look at one of my best games in the Object 907. I'm playing a lot of this tank recently, trying to understand. Playing a tank with 5 degrees of gun depression is something that I struggle with. I started by playing almost only American tanks, and then sort of branch out. But the ones I branched out to were like British tanks that also have gun depression, and so it wasn't until like a year ago when I started playing tanks that had like 6 degrees of gun depression, and that was a struggle in itself. But the difference between 5 degrees of gun depression and 6 degrees of gun depression is actually a lot. There are a lot of positions like in the 140 where I felt like I didn't have gun depression, but I also didn't feel like I just couldn't hit like a tank's low plate at close range, for instance. But the 907 only has 5 degrees of gun depression, and that has caused me a lot of trouble and it's taken a while to adjust and get used to the play style. I'm getting better at it. It involves a lot of knowing exactly what your gun depression will let you do, or more correctly, what positions your lack of gun depression won't be an issue. So we're on Westfield. As you can see, I'm playing pretty aggressively, taking the K0 corner. In an Object 907, you can just be so aggressive in these kind of situations. You don't have really good armor, but you have armor that allows you to get away with things more because a larger amount of their hits will actually not penetrate, especially at mid-range. We're just punishing his EBR. Unfortunately, he ducked to the side at the last moment. Ellis entry in action 10 is finding. That was a weird shot. Look, I almost went like into the basket on the back of his tank, but it actually hit the very back of his turret. As you can see, we forced all of their tanks back from this position. We've won this flank, so I'm pushing up. I'm playing aggressive. I'm trying to push the tempo. I know there's a 279E as part of a platoon on the enemy team, and I am trying to. I know they're going to steamroll the other flank. As you can see, the score is not looking good. So there's a Jaeger in the open. I just start putting shells in. The 907 has really, really good DPM. My favorite part of the tank is how quickly the reload, how fast it reloads. A 4.9-second reload is so nice. That was an unfortunate bounce there. All the seriously by rate of fire again. It's one of the fastest reloads at tier 9, at tier 10. That one bounced because I'm firing APCR because it's mid-range. I'm loading heat to go into his front plate at that angle, which is easy pen considering he's angling it down. The 430U is playing the corner there trying to anchor, which is actually a really big deal down there. I'm trying to aim for the EBR. He appears to be AFK, but I missed the first one. I switched back to APCR. Put another shell in. He was taken out by the Sheridan. That's a pretty good shot by him. I'm thinking of pushing the 430U, but I'm concerned about the Jaeger putting a shell into my rear. I see that he's sitting there, so I put a shell in. I want to get the kill. He needs to back up, which means I can't finish him off. And that's when an artillery appears, but it appears to be like behind some rubble or building or a wall or something. I decide I'm going to go back and defend the base instead of pushing through. I snap a shell towards the Sheridan's general direction. There was no way that was going to hit, but I figured I was worth it. Right now the score is not looking good. They have a lot of HP, a lot of heavies left. And map controls, map controls pretty even. So here I decide, you know, I'm gonna start farming. That is the Chinese tier 10 tank destroyer. It has actually really good frontal armor. So I load some heat. More evidence of its really good armor. There we go, put another shell into him. Up to 3k damage. It's gonna be a lot more damage needed to farm. He's backing up, so I try and put a shell into him. He was taken out. EBR, I'm looking for the shell. If I had APCR loaded, I would have hit that shot, but I misled. He went flying off. 50B hit his gun there. Unfortunate. Continuing to harass him with more and more shells. He's weakly armored. He's out of position. That one was actually an interesting shot. He was out of render range, but he was still spotted, which is why the damage indicator popped up in the middle of the screen. If he was unspotted, it would not have appeared. The score is looking much better now, but the game is not over yet. All they have left are heavies, and they still have a decent amount of HP. But I'm still full HP at this point. I just been putting shots in at mid range. Kind of get in there, use my HP to trade, and get more damage. Turn an already good game into an insane game. Even him just coming in the bush, he puts the shell into me. I'm loading heat, and so I'm just going right through it. I think about the lower plate. Decide for the lower plate shot based on the way it was angled. Put another shell into his mantlet. The E100 just cannot stand up to heat at all. Another one there. I take another hit, but at this stage of the game, I feel confident we're going to win. I just want to get as much damage as possible, so I don't mind taking the hits. That one was a horrid shot. I didn't adjust in the last moment as he turned his turret. In this situation, I'm going to go after the 279 because E5 is a one-shot, and now he's taken out. In these kind of late game scenarios, they try and go for damage. Always look for the tank that has the highest amount of HP, where are the cluster of tanks with the most HP, instead of the tank closest to you. And I get the kill. I actually, funnily enough, my first kill of this game. So 5.5 thousand damage and 1,000 spotting. Very dominant match on Westfield. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Stay safe.